Another update on the crusty 69 Charger RT SE. Alright, I am ready to weld in my rocker panels and cross member on the driver's side. We got the passenger side welded. Taking all my dimensions. I made a clamp to draw this in to match the cross member, and you know we're within 3/16. I have read 3/8 of an inch tolerances on these cars, and I've seen 3/8 of an inch on these cars, but been trying to keep it within a 1/16 or an 1/8, but that's pretty tough. We've got dimensions from the drip rail here down to the rocker panel, and they're exactly where the other rocker panel was, the original. My measurements from my rear shock, or my rear shackle mount, you can see those two holes there, to the cross member are within a 1/16. We need is 86 degrees right here, and we're at like 86 degrees, and that's what my other one was at. The other side was gone. There was nothing there. There's just a big hole. When I did this, you know, I couldn't justify doing it on a frame jig right away because there was really nothing to put on the frame jig. So I thought I would get it to this point with a floor in it, and I could keep all my datums straight. This is one of my datums up front. I'm using this bumper bolt hole, and they're within a 1/16 of an inch on each side. Everything is square. My cross member bolts, or my subframe bolts, are right at their 34 inches. I think that's what they were, but they're right on. It looks good. So, you know, I'm going to weld it up, do a bunch of spot welding, and, you know, then I'm going to strongly consider building some kind of a jig to put this car on so I can get the rear leafs and the rear frame rails in correctly. You know, I think I could do it on jack stands, but a lot of measuring. It's a lot of measuring. You know, I want to weld these jack stands, just put a good tack weld on them so they're not going anywhere on the frame here. You know, I've got my cross member in, I've got my transmission mount cross member piece bolted in, so that'll go nowhere. And yeah, this is where we're at right now. I'm pleased with my measurements, where everything ended up. Mostly within a 1/16 of where I started. I'm sure it'll work. I'm sure this is decent work for the front of the car. It's just the hind end is what I'm worried about. Getting those frame rails in right. And there's nothing to go off here. You know, you can't get good measurements off stuff like this. Now, this side isn't much better. You can wiggle it around. It's going to be tough. But, you know, if you measure enough, if you got enough patience, you know, we can figure it out. I'll, you know, do it one way or another, but 4-link would have been easier, because then I wouldn't have to worry about these rear mounts for the leaf springs, and you could square it up easier, but it's not in the budget, and I just wanted my leaf springs. I just wanted it to be, you know, somewhat close to the way my old one was 30 years ago. So, this is where we're at. It's a big step. I like to use a little die grinder. Of course, I put it away now. But to clean out all the paint on the other sides of these holes, You know, I got all my holes I punched in. I bought a punch, a little air punch for 40 bucks. So then I take a, let's see if we can zoom. Yeah, you can see where I hit them with the die grinder. Just enough to, you know, so I can get in there and not be burning through the paint and getting a crappy weld out of it. Everything else is hit up with the weld-through primer. A lot of rust mort in this car. Killed the rust. I believe I've got it well under control to where you could drive it around in the rain and I don't think we'll have to worry. So this is it for now, and we'll catch you on the next update. Thanks for watching.